You'll never see it coming. No. Yeah. All right, guys. Just got back from watching Iron Man 3 in the theaters. Took my son with me. And, if you don't know anything, Iron Man's about Tony Stark. He's a billionaire. He has a special suit. It's like a mech suit, and he fights bad guys with it, basically. This time he's out fighting the Mandarin, or at least that's what the, marketing leads you to believe. There's also another bad guy played by Guy Pearce, and as the story progresses, we find out more about the bad guys. And a big part of the film plays is Tony Stark is dealing with the events from the Avengers, and he kind of has like PTSD symptoms, and he's having all this anxiety and stuff. And those are some of the issues he has to work through in this movie. In the meantime, Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley's, having these ominous videos played, globally and threatening people, and all these terrorist attacks are happening. And Guy Pearce is another guy who's doing genetic experiments. I know a lot of people are pissed already because I've seen, people commenting. I don't watch any reviews, but I've seen some comments people have been making. I don't think the fans are happy with what they do with the Mandar. I personally liked what they did. I think it was pretty ballsy, personally, to do that to the fans and everything. The way he starts in the beginning of the movie, his little videos, I really loved all that stuff. I love the style they had for Ben Kingsley, all that stuff. The way he's like basically like a satire of all the radicals, we have out there in the real world. And like they said in the movie, he's got the voice of a Southern, Baptist minister, and Bin Laden elements to him. I almost said Obama, but yeah, he's like a radical. He's like a satire of a lot of different type of radicals out in the world. And I was really excited about that because I love the videos at the beginning of the movie. And Guy Pearce's character is also introduced. And about 2/3 through the movie, they kind of flip it on its head, and they have this really big twist involving the Mandarin. And I have to admit, I really appreciated what they did, but at the same time, I think the movie just lost a lot of steam at that point for me. I was enjoying the story of Tony Stark trying to find himself and deal with his, little anxiety issues. They even have a part where he teams up with this kid for a while who's, kind of like a mirror image of himself, and I like that part. My son, in fact, turned to me at that point and was like, "This movie's funny," This play that shows how they played a mainstream audiences, because I usually wouldn't like that crap, but I did recognize it more because my son was watching it with me. But yeah, after they had the big reveal on the Mandarin, the movie just lost a lot of steam for me. The final action setup piece was pretty cool. I liked it, but it's just, it boils down to Tony Stark controlling a bunch of robots. I don't like that, really, personally. That's one thing that bugs me, is him being able to control the suit externally, because I think it takes away from being Iron Man, because if he's not in the suit, it's just like robots to me. I don't know. Hopefully they'll build on that and maybe, build it up to Ultron or something like that in future movies. I don't like it, though, personally, because I think it just takes away from Iron Man for some reason. And what they did with the Mandarin, like I said, I can understand why people are mad. I think it was ballsy. I liked it either way. I would have preferred they would have kept the way he was in the first half of the movie. I really liked the satirical terrorist type character, sort of a mix of Bin Laden and the Joker. But maybe they didn't want to go down the Bane Joker type route Nolan went down. I would have preferred the movie overall if it was darker, actually, and showed Tony Stark drinking more and dealing more with his anxiety, and maybe had one good villain that was set up really well. I think the villains were kind of weak overall. I really liked Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. Guy Pearce's character is pretty weak, I think. Overall, he turns out to be very generic. His motivations are generic. His powers are generic. He's just, a typical generic bad guy, just a filler. I would have preferred them to have done a lot more with Ben Kingsley's character. I thought that would have played really well. Like I said, overall, I would have preferred a dark movie, but you're not going to get that in these Marvel mainstream movies because they're just built for the mainstream. And, Disney's not going to get behind something that's dark, like as dark as The Dark Knight, even, I don't think. I would prefer even a darker movie. You could do a way darker movie about Tony Stark and the technology and, the heart problems, all that. And the way they kind of ended this movie after the big action set piece, the final, epilogue after the baddies are done, I didn't like that either, because I thought that took away from the character of Tony Stark, personally. That's one of the things more I think about it. And then as far as the piece after the credits, I thought it was a cool cameo. I was expecting more. I was kind of let down by that. So overall, Iron Man 3 was going to get a 4 out of 5, but I'm going to knock it down to 3.5 out of 5. It's definitely better than average. All the Marvel movies have a certain quality to them. I'm not saying I don't like them. I just feel they're built for such a big audience that kind of suffer in the long run for that. You know, jack of all trades, master of none type crap. So I think they do suffer, but 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy it. My 5-year-old enjoyed it. He sat through the whole thing. I was pretty proud of him. Can't wait to actually see the next Marvel movie. I really enjoy the way they tie them in. But yeah, I thought the movie was lacking, and hopefully, you know, tomorrow it's not a 3 or a 2.5. But overall, it's a quality movie. It just has as many good parts as it does bad parts. And I think what they did with the Mandarin affected me, even though I thought it was ballsy. I thought, you know, the movie just went downhill after that. All right, guys, I hope you sat through this whole thing. It's probably going to be about 6 minutes long. Take care. I'll see you next time.